The ceremony itself was almost gentle. No dramatic music swelling in my head, no cinematic sense of arrival. Just rows of folding chairs, names called one after another, applause rising and falling with polite consistency. I kept glancing toward the entrance anyway. Not because I expected a grand entrance, my family had never been theatrical, but because absence has a way of feeling temporary until it isn't. My phone buzzed once during the speeches. A photo. Beach umbrellas. Bright sky. My mother's caption. "Wish you were here." It was strange how efficiently a single image could reorganize a moment. Not anger. Just a quiet recalibration of significance. Graduation, I realized, had been important primarily to me. At dinner that evening, my friends filled the space effortlessly, laughter, overlapping conversations, celebratory noise that felt warm and sincere. Yet beneath it, something heavier sat quietly. A familiar sensation, the awareness of being slightly out of sync with the emotional priorities of my own family. I told myself what people always tell themselves: they needed the break. It wasn't intentional, it's just timing. Families, like weather, have uncontrollable patterns. 2. The call came 3 days later. My brother's voice, first unusually careful, stripped of its usual casual confidence. "Hey, quick favor." Favor, such an innocent word. "There's a situation." Details emerged reluctantly, wrapped in minimization. A paper. A discrepancy. A professor asking questions. Then eventually the real shape of it. Plagiarism. Not accidental. Not misunderstood. Documented. "Would just need to handle something financially." "Why?" "Mom thought maybe you could help." "How much?" A pause. 4,800. The number landed with a peculiar density. Not because of the money itself. Because of the framing. As if my role were self-evident, as if my participation required no negotiation. "It's temporary," he added quickly. "Just until things cool down." Things cool down. Language designed to shrink reality. After we hung up, I sat with the discomfort longer than expected. Not outrage. Not even betrayal. Something more complicated. Because the request wasn't merely financial. It was ethical. An invitation to participate in a fiction. To reinforce a narrative where consequences were inconveniences to be managed rather than realities to be faced. Memory has a way of intruding at moments like this. Childhood patterns. Who was protected? Who was expected to understand? Who absorbed adjustments quietly? Family loyalty, I was learning, often arrives dressed as obligation. I didn't answer their messages immediately, not out of strategy. Out of uncertainty. Integrity is rarely tested in dramatic moments. More often, it appears disguised as a practical decision, a small compromise. A temporary exception. A quiet bending of principles in the name of harmony. What unsettled me most wasn't my brother's mistake, it was how naturally the solution had been assigned to me. The dean's office was quieter than I expected. Soft lighting. Neutral furniture. The institutional calm of spaces designed to absorb human complications. I almost turned back twice. Because doubt, inconveniently, does not disappear simply because a decision has been made. But clarity, once formed, has a peculiar steadiness. I need to report an academic integrity concern. Even saying the words felt surreal. Not accusatory, not emotional, procedural, which, somehow, made it heavier. Documentation followed, emails, comparisons, policies. The machinery of accountability activating with measured indifference. No raised voices, no drama, just structure responding to fact. My brother called that night. They always do. Eventually, consequences travel faster through family networks than through formal systems. "What did you do?" The question arrived breathless, vibrating with disbelief. I told the truth. "You destroyed everything." Destroyed. Such a definitive word, as if integrity were an act of aggression rather than refusal. "This didn't start with me." "You're my sister." "I am." "Then how could you?" He didn't finish. Because the real question wasn't how. It was why loyalty had failed to override principle. My mother's voice carried a different kind of weight. Not anger. Disappointment. That familiar tone layered with emotional gravity. We handle things as a family. I closed my eyes briefly. Yes, I said softly. That's exactly the problem. Silence expanded between us, thick, fragile, saturated with things neither of us could comfortably articulate. Because beneath the conflict sat an uncomfortable truth. Family unity built on dishonesty is not unity. It's maintenance. The scholarship review moved forward with predictable inevitability. Committees, evaluations, outcomes delivered in language carefully stripped of emotion. Institutional systems, unlike families, do not negotiate with sentiment. 2 weeks later, the noise faded. Calls became rarer, messages shorter. The family equilibrium adjusting around a new, unfamiliar tension. I kept waiting for triumph. Vindication. Relief. They never arrived. Because integrity does not feel like victory. It feels like standing alone in a decision that offers no emotional comfort, only coherence. Sometimes I think back to the graduation stage, to the empty seats, to the applause from strangers, and I understand something now I didn't then. Recognition withheld hurts, but self-respect compromised corrodes, quietly, permanently. My brother's future wasn't destroyed by truth, it was altered by reality, and reality, inconveniently, has never required my permission to exist.